Hi, Jaymee. Hi, Pawa. Hi, EJ. How are
Hi,
you
hi.
doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Wow, really good to have you all here. You guys have been, I know your schedules and all have been like super busy. But thanks a lot for, taking a little bit of time to spend a bit of time sharing your real life experience.
It's a
Okay.
pleasure.
So,
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
yeah. So,
Yeah, glad
friends,
to be here.
if you guys are already live, just you all can feel free to drop in and say hello so that Jamie, Pawa, and EJ, they know you are here, and they will also respond to you shortly. Okay, just take note that it's going to be about 30 seconds or so lag, so just give us a bit of chance. All right.
Pleasure to
Okay.
be here. Thank you.
Okay. uh and okay, we have EJ out for a while. It's okay, it happens
Well,
sometimes.
it's a great
EJ, if
start.
you're around, just coming back again with the same link, okay? And friends who are here, okay, drop in your questions early on so that Jamie, Pawa, and EJ, who's coming in back again, will answer your questions later. All right? Okay, let's see. Where's EJ? Okay, EJ is back. Hi, EJ. You ran off for a while.
Yeah, it dropped off.
Dropped off. Okay. So just in case if any of us drop out, just feel free just coming back again. If I drop off, just assume I'm not around. Just continue talking for a while and then
You can
coming back
Sure.
again. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So also, friends, if you have who are following us regularly, if you find any great nuggets of knowledge or something that you can really use or your friends can use, just kindly write it down in the comments so that we can actually take it up and put it as part of the description. It will help a lot of people. All right. Can you all do that? If you all can hear me, just say yes.
All right. Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me just introduce you all. First, Jaymee Tan here. Jaymee is the CEO who runs Cheer Aspirations. It's a cheerleading company. Is one of the few in Malaysia, and she also represents Malaysia in cheerleading competitions overseas as a judge. Am I right, Jaymee?
Yep, that's right.
Okay,
We are
and
yep.
yes. Okay, let me
I go
just
ahead.
quickly. I'll just introduce everybody briefly, and then y'all can go on and tell a little bit more about yourselves. Yeah. So Pawa here runs Pawa's Treasure Hunts. Okay, so he's really famous for this in Klang Valley and in other states in Malaysia. He runs normal treasure hunts that you do with a car. Okay, and then of course EJ, he's very famous for Swimming 12. He runs a swimming school, which is quite famous in Klang Valley. All right. So the common thing about all these entrepreneurs is they are all group based, they are outdoor based, and they work very closely with physically with people. So the interesting thing about this whole event today is how companies like this who are totally outdoor bound and people bound can do their business during these times of crisis, during this COVID time. All right. So before we start, maybe we can hear a little bit more of their traditional business and what they do. We can start off with Jaymee first.
Yep, sure. Thank you, Vyasa. So I run Cheer Aspirations, and we are the largest and pioneer cheerleading company in Malaysia since 2011. And we have with us about 40 plus cheer teams, 50 over coaches. We have won 250 plus championship titles to date,
Oh,
and very honored to judge the World Championships as well for the past 9 years. And we also have experience coaching Team Malaysia, our coaches and myself, about 11 years in total. Yeah.
wow. Okay. How about Power?
Well, I've been organizing treasure hunts and team bonding activity for the last 22 years. And I've been doing it even in four different languages. English, Malay, mix of English and Malay, Tamil, and I've also done in Mandarin for
Wow.
some Taiwanese tourists that came down to Malaysia. Yeah, and I'm really passionate about treasure hunts, and I've been really enjoying myself doing this stuff.
Okay, thanks, Pawa. And how about you, EJ?
So I run a swimming school called Swim in 12. So it stands for Learn to Swim in 12 Hours Guaranteed. So if you can't swim in 12 hours, we'll just keep teaching you for free until you can get it. So we've been doing that for the past 10 years. Next month will be our 11 years anniversary. And our specialty was helping people who are extremely afraid of water. Those who learn a long time cannot get it, or those who've been in class and cannot show results. So this is our main specialty. So we've been enjoying ourselves a lot teaching, and we've been growing to, we had about 50 over team members before MCO. So that was our
Wow.
business. Yeah.
50 over members before MCO.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. This is really awesome. Each of you guys, you run events that take place with a lot of people. Okay. So we would really like to hear how did y'all pivot during this tough time where we really cannot go out, we cannot really interact with people on a physical basis. How do we do that? Maybe Jaymee, could you just share a little bit about how did you turn around your business?
Yeah, sure. So as soon as we heard the news of MCO, the first week itself, we were thinking, okay, how are we going to bring cheerleading virtually? Because it's a team sport. And so we had to be really innovative. First thing we did was to go to our international network of coaches from around the world to see what ideas there were out there. And then we came up with stuff. We learned from the best, and then we came up with stuff such as, in cheerleading you have to build pyramids and stunts, right? So instead, we were started using shoes to do our drills, so as if you are stunting with someone. And then we also came up with things like team challenges to really engage the cheerleaders. And like example for COVID, we had them come up with photos of them creating an alphabet, and all the alphabets will form a message for the frontliners. So then we put it into a collage, and then we post it up. And then we also ask them to come up with solo cheer routines, and yeah, all kinds of things. And we also ask them to get them to connect with each other, their teammates, at a deeper level. So we use the Zoom breakout rooms function, and we get them to connect deeper. So in this time, they will still be bonded after this whole MCO thing is over. Yeah. And besides virtual training, we also have a very cute project we call Let's Go Nuts. So because we're not sure when and how long we will be able to not have physical classes. So we thought nuts would be something that is nutritious, something that athletes, cheerleaders can have. And the unique thing about nuts is we soak them for 7 hours beforehand, because actually nuts, you cannot absorb most of the nutrients when you eat them just like that. And I
Right.
know this because I also bake quite a bit. So we decided to soak our nuts and sell nutritious nuts and with unique flavors, no nonsense ingredients. And yeah, we launched our online shop, and then the nuts at the same time on 11
Wow.
April. All the things we're supposed to do for many years but never do, now is the time to do it. And yeah, we also now have a shop on Lazada and Shopee. And yeah, we started also posting on social media, went from zero posts to daily posts. So all these things we've been doing in the past month plus.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that you have, I think there are two main things you have done a lot more, right? So one of it is the Shopee selling the nuts, and the other
Yeah.
one is your existing cheerleading
Yes.
business itself, right?
Yes.
So the Shopee one is something that you all came up during this time, during these difficult times, and it's a totally different idea. But
Totally
how did
different.
very totally different for sure. How did you run the cheerleading? Do you all still run cheerleading classes?
We do virtual training, yes. So CA virtual training, where we are doing conditioning work through the trainings, and also team challenges, team bonding, and also they are working on their stunt and tumbling techniques. Yeah, virtually.
So how's that like take up during this time for these classes and all? Are they following regularly? Are they staying on the class and all?
Most of our competitors we are continuing because we still hope to hit the end of the year. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, Jaymee, we lost you a little bit.
Papa, can you hear me?
We lost you a little bit. Can you just repeat the things that you
Yes?
just said?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay, all good. I was saying that,
All good.
yeah, most of our competitive teams, they are continuing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me log out and come back in later.
Can. All right. So meanwhile, we'll just go on to Pawa first. Okay. So Pawa, how about yours? What happened during this time? I mean, how did you turn around from a absolutely car-based, outdoor-based to a virtual one? What did you
Well,
all do?
okay, for a start, my COVID-19 or MCO did not start on March the 18th. Mine started in January itself,
Okay.
because from January, people started postponing all their physical events.
All
So
right.
everybody had it there. Then some people say we'll do it later. We'll wait and see. People are not happy. So my MCO already started very much earlier. So things were not moving from then on. Uh, and from January till March, in fact, it was just hoping that things will get better. Things will get better, but it did not. Okay. In fact, on March the 16th, I was about to invoice a client to do an event on April 16th. And then before I could send it out, we were told that this is going to happen. And of course, the client told me, Pawa, I think we can't go ahead. I say, yeah, no choice. So the invoice is still created and not sent to the client now. So after that, I'm just stuck at home wondering what to do and all this. So I've been organizing hunts using buses, using public transport, cars, walk hunts, even mall hunts and stuff like that. Then a good friend of mine, Hank, called me and said, Papa, I need to organize an activity to raise funds. Can we do your treasure hunts online? And I immediately said yes, because actually, if some of you have my company profile, I had this in my company profile, and I used to call it cyber hunts. Okay. And cyber hunt could be doing on a web base or stuff like that. But I approached my clients a few times, and they were not really very keen in it. They thought,
Right.
why go to this? We can do the normal stuff and all that. So this time when it came, I grabbed the opportunity and went ahead and did my first online treasure hunt, where actually you find people staying in their homes, but taking part in a treasure hunt.
Right. And how was the experience of the recent treasure hunt, the virtual one that you mentioned the other day, the one with
Okay.
Hank? Yeah.
The one that I did with Hank Cage and his team on the 12th of April was to raise funds for this association or the NGO called Puak Payo. They do a lot
Okay.
of good stuff, helping the poor and things like that. So he wanted to raise funds. So we managed to raise 8,000 for that
Right.
weekend, that Sunday, and we had about 61 teams participating. All
Wow.
right, and they were all really excited. Then after that, a lot of reviews, good reviews came aboard. Some people were asking when is the next one and all that. And because of that, then I also had a few of my clients calling me because I invited the clients to participate. So some of them, one or two of them actually participated. The rest actually didn't participate, but they asked me how did it go, what was it. Then so over after April 12th to now, I think easily I have sent about 10 proposals out. right? For various, from corporates, from Singapore, from clients, or even from Singapore,
Wow.
right? Yeah, and so I think something will materialize somewhere in June, early June.
Right.
I should be having my next online treasure hunt.
Okay, awesome there, awesome there. Really good to know about this virtual treasure hunt, right? So before we go on to EJ, who has a lot to share, Jaymee, you were sharing just now about how uh, l- your trainers were teaching the participants, right? Your regular teammates and all. How did it go actually?
We I think it went pretty well. We were getting feedback the whole time. So
Right,
what the kids like, what the parents wanted to see their children learn, and we were adapting along the way. So it has become much more better, much more engaging as we went along. Yeah, and I was saying, I think I would say quite a number of our competitive teams are continuing because they are the more committed ones and they are aiming for competition at the end of the year.
right,
Whereas a lot of our private schools, they're on hold at the moment because the school itself isn't sure what they're going to do next. You know, they're all doing e-learning, and CCA is not really their priority right now.
right.
Yeah. Mm.
Understand. They're also just learning how to cope up and all, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, just a question for you, Jamie. How do y'all train people? For example, cheerleading involves a lot of jumping and you know uh, standing on each other and all, right? So how do y'all do
Yeah.
it online?
Yeah. So for some elements, you can do it on your own, like jumps,
Okay, okay,
dance, right? You can do on your own. And we also do a lot of conditioning, which every sport can do on your own. Whereas for stunts, it's something that's a team sport. So what we have to do is do the little movements that make up a stunt. So for example, you will usually carry someone on top. You use a shoe instead, and you pretend the shoe is your teammate, and then you use that
right,
shoe and then you throw it around and make sure it flies up straight rather than to the side. Because if you do it a
right.
real human being, it will fly to the side. So those are
Okay,
some of the things we came up with. Yeah. And for gymnastics, we use the walls at home. Yeah, just all you need is just a wall actually or the floor, and do all those gymnastics drills. Now is the best time actually to improve all their techniques through all these kind of drills and conditioning work. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I heard that parents were very happy because like the children could do some things at this time, and it takes off a little bit of their parents' headache of constantly being in front of their children, right?
Yes. I mean, I have kids as well. So if someone can just occupy my child for 1 hour, I'll be so thankful. So yeah, I think that this people might think that, oh, how do you learn cheerleading online? It's not the same as physical, right? But
Yeah.
actually, we are getting them to come up with their own like little solo routines. For example, teaching them to work with a team to come up with a whole video, a team video. So they are actually learning to be creative, and they're
Wow.
learning collaborative skills. Yeah, and learning to be confident because they need to record themselves, right? So parents also help out to take their video and things like that. So these are actually soft skills you still can learn virtually. So a lot of parents might not realize that yet, but these are what we are trying to do because that is our goal to teach them life skills through cheerleading, and we can even bring it virtually as well through our program that we put a lot of effort to plan. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like videos, learning how to take your own videos, I think that's a thing that normally a lot of people don't know how to do it. And during this time, a lot of people are actually learning how to do the video, which is actually very important to spread things out, to learn something new and to share your own learnings also, right?
Yeah. Like being confident to appear in the video. Yeah, so that is not something every child is confident enough to do as well. So yeah, those we hope that through all these activities that we plan, they will become more confident to be in front of a camera. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, awesome. So before we go on to EJ, just want to just share with y'all a few friends from LinkedIn have come in and dropped in to say hello. Raymond Victor, okay, glad to see you, Pawa, Jaymee, and EJ. Okay,
Hi,
and then
Victor.
we have Sarguna, okay, and then we have Cheryl Vita, who's a lecturer from INTI. Uh, Cheryl Vita said that I think that is true. through Jaymee, we start doing things that was on the back burner and change ideas into action, right? So a lot of times, a lot of things are in the back burner, and then now's a really good time to take things into action. And then we have Joe Mendes said, "Good job. We really need this." And then we have Dato Gopinan said, "Well done to all of y'all." All right. So good stuff. And as you all can see, Dennis Yam from Facebook has said, "Hello, bro Vyasa, bro Power, bro EJ, and sister Jaymee. Great stuff, guys." Okay, so, and as you all can see, I think you all have already seen a lot of your Facebook friends have come in and dropped in to say hi. Feel free to just respond anytime in between while each of us are talking lah. So EJ, look forward to hear your story on how we can swim without water.
That's the craziest idea, right? Learning swimming without a pool. So it started very early, since on the day itself when the Prime Minister announced that we're going to go into MCO. Before that, we've been observing other countries like Vietnam, Singapore, how do they manage their lockdown. And we start seeing that although our Prime Minister has announced 2 weeks, but we foresee that it'll be at least 3 months. So when we look at it, and when we think, 3 months without a pool, there'll be zero income for all of us. So it's going to be a tough time, right? So immediately, I brought off one of my project that I had, where I wanted to combine swimming and science together. So it's like a project that we've been working on the back end, like very slowly for 3 years. Then suddenly, just because of this MCO, in 3 weeks we got it done. So it was like, wow, how did we procrastinated so long? So a lot of things is actually very possible. It's just when we have this time, then we have to quickly take the opportunity to run it. Then it's amazing because how we do it is, where, like what Jaymee said, you break down the elements of what makes the whole teamwork thing. So same where we break the small elements of what makes a good swimmer understands why they need to do what they do. So for example, let's say if we talk about keeping your hands straight. Yeah. So in the pool, we just tell them, keep your hands straight, it helps you move faster. Right?
Yes.
But in this session, we can help them imagine what other things are keeping their hands straight. What other things are having this shape like a hand straight. For example, a ship is built with this shape as well. Airplane as well. Knife, so you don't see like a flat knife like this, it's usually sharp.
Yes.
So then they start to understand, actually, that's why we need to do that. Then when we start to have more pictures, more videos showing this kind of everyday application of these concepts that you use in swimming, you can also use in your daily life. And who knows, one day when you become a scientist or become an engineer, you remember all these concepts as well. So we start to bring all these elements. Every module that we teach, it must be swimming related, science related, and application to the daily life as well. So it becomes very practical. So it's not something that parents will just support us because it's just they like us. It's something where they see real value. They see something that the kids can fall in love with science. They will understand more about swimming, and it keeps them occupied. Like Jaymee said, the extra 1 hour of time taken away is very valuable. Same for me as well. I got 2 kids at home. So that's where we started. And it was a crazy idea at the beginning. Everyone couldn't imagine swimming pool without a pool. But once we start leading, I started creating the first slide itself. Then our leaders start looking at it. Hey, this is actually possible. Then start creating more content. Then we roll out in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Wow, in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. And how was the take up from parents and all when you all started pitching this idea to the parents? Because they're so used to physical, sending the kids to the pool, fetching them back, seeing them splash water and all, and now suddenly you're saying this, right? How was the take up?
So at the beginning, what we do is we take very small steps because we don't want to take too big of a risk. So we start with our biggest fans. So the customers who are always been there for us, who supported us for a long time. They are the ones who always buy food for our team members, writing us cards during Teachers' Day. So we started with this group first to test out how do you think this can add value to your kids? Is it really practical or not? Is it something that you will support me just because it's supporting, or is it something that you see long-term value in it? So as we keep tweaking the content, then we start saying, hey, this is working. Then we start sharing with another group of students where they got to know us a bit longer. So as that got better, then we share with the rest of our students where they just started to know us. So we go through step by step. And the take-up rate was pretty good. We have about 100 almost 110 trials. Then about 40% of them sign up, and this is the second month already. In second month, about 90% renewed their second month. So this is our realistic indicator that is this something that we do for fun, or is it something that we can take it to the next level? So as we progress further, we start seeing, hey, this is really good. And actually, this Friday we're going to promote to Singapore as well. So there's a few Singaporeans that look at this and say, hey, this is valuable, this is cool, you know. So then they start organizing Facebook ads and how they're going to promote us in the next week. So there's something that
So in a way that this COVID situation has enabled you all to go beyond the boundaries that we normally have.
Oh yes, yeah, something that we don't even think about, crossing borders. Then now during this MCO time, it's a crazy time. It's a fun time. And to Singaporeans and other countries, I think it's like super cheap because of the exchange rate. Huh? Yeah. So it's less than 100 Sing. So it's a steal for other countries.
So if you can do Singapore, that means you can do, you can do Penang, you can do Sabah, Sarawak, you can do Thailand, you can do Maldives, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, we'll try step by step. I like to start small and test with the market. See, is it something that's suitable for them? Like the last time when I was learning Singaporean English in during tuition time, then I realized the standard is very high. So I think when it comes to this swimming program, so what we say is for 6 to 8 years old. For them, it could be like a 4 to 6 years old. So we have to keep tweaking based on their intelligence, based on their exposure.
Right. Do you see that, because COVID will stop eventually, let's say in June or July, will you carry on with this program?
Yes, definitely. Because it's a good complement program when it comes to learning swimming. So someone who's already been learning swimming and they want to know deeper. Because sometimes coaches are very busy. Coaches has a lot of students. So sometimes coaches give the instruction. This is what you do. You do this. This will be a good outcome. Very seldom, if you have a big group, you can explain one by one. This is why you do it. This is good for you because, then the whole list, So when it comes to this kind of program, students start to understand the why they do what they do. Then it keeps them more interested in swimming, more interested in science. So I see this as a long-term thing.
Right. Okay, awesome. Friends who have questions, feel free to. This is a good time to ask a lot of questions and answer your business ideas. If you have business ideas and all, just this is the best time to ask this group of people. They are not only talking about a theory, but they have actually put it into practice and it's already working out for them. Of course, there's a lot of fine tuning to do. But they are already seeing, and they've done the mistakes they have done. So they are a great place to learn from instead of jumping in straight and doing all the mistakes again. Okay, so if you're dropping in questions, this is a good time to drop in. I'm going to ask a few more questions for now. So, Jaymee, could I ask you, how did your team take? There's always a down period for the whole team because suddenly you're thrown into an unknown place, unknown situation where none of us have expected this. So how did your team take up and what did you all do to bring your team up back again and start kicking?
Yeah. So at first the team was worried, stressed out, like what we're going to do, right? But I'm very grateful that they are a bunch of very, very open-minded, dedicated coaches, especially our full-time team. So we did a brainstorming, which one of the ideas was virtual training, and including the nuts as well in that first brainstorming that we did. And they were totally supportive for it. So actually I'm very grateful that I have a team that is very open-minded to new ideas. And yes, virtual training, at first we are like scratching our head, how are we going to do this? But as we got ideas from international, our network, from online, and we just put our brains together and work out the plan. And then we also kept getting feedback, like what EJ said, getting feedback from parents and students, very important. And then we adjusted the program as we went along. And then we see the response. So what they like, you can tell what they like and what they don't like. And still a work in progress, but that's how we did it. Yeah.
Okay. How about EJ? How's your team? Because you have a large team, and I think it's you have how many centers for Swimming 12?
We have 2 branches only. One in
Two
TJ,
branches.
Sri
Okay.
Kembangan.
Okay.
Mm.
And how did you? And you said you have up to I think 80 coaches, right? You said
50 team members.
50. Okay, 50 team members. How did they feel at the beginning, and then what happened, and how did you all start taking this part off?
So at the beginning, on the day one itself, on 16th of March, when the Prime Minister announced, I immediately write a letter to the team. So I said, looking at the cost, we're spending about 160,000 a month. So if we close down for 3 months, there's going to be $500,000, and we don't have $500,000 to just splurge out like this, So it's going to be a tough time. So realistically, I told everyone going to be out of job. If you need to find a new job, this is a good time. So
Okay.
I don't want to give you any false hope that it will be open in 2 weeks. So this is something that we set the expectation up front. So then on the 18th itself, I mentioned that this is a project that I feel like working on, bringing this thing online. So out of 50, there was about 15 team members that volunteered and said, hey, I want to help out. I want to start going into this. And no one is talking about pay. Everyone's I just want to play with this. Yeah, this is a fun thing to start off. Yeah, until today. And whatever we've made from it, I just decided, okay, going to give to all the employees who've run this before. So this is where we start. And it was very motivating, not just for the team, but for me itself. I think during a lot of our meetings, we lift each other up. There are times that some of us are down, some of us are up, and we just keep pushing each other. So this is a very nice time to have good teamwork, good bonding. Yeah, we are realistic that we can't take care of everybody at this time, and we've we don't want to give any false hope where people need to keep thinking, oh, I'll be back in work next 2 weeks and next 2 weeks and next 2 weeks. So that kind of enabled the team to think further, to say, okay, this is my next step. Yeah, of course, some take this opportunity to relax. I took some opportunity to relax as well. So while we are running this, so I think it's important that we keep each other motivated as a team. It's not a one-man thing. No one's gonna get like positive every day. It's a tough time. Yeah. So sometimes we can draw the source of energy not just from our team but from our customers as well.
Okay, awesome to hear that. I think really awesome to hear this. Of course, building a team, it just doesn't happen overnight, or motivating, because if they're going to listen to you, you have done something right, way longer before this, for them to, follow you and hear you and support your ideas at this time. Okay.
If I can add,
so Jaymee, please.
Yeah, let me add something. So I had a face-to-face session with a full-time team. So I was very lucky to be able to motivate them there. And yeah, same thing as EJ said, set the expectations. We also planned for 3 months, no revenue, so happened. And yeah, let them know that this is real. If really things don't work out, we are not able to generate any source of revenue, we will have to, either cease operations or find another option out there.
Yes.
So we are managing that. So that's for my full-timers, but my part-time team is very huge as well, and I couldn't manage to see them physically. So what I did was a video message that I sent out to all of them, telling them our plans, the expectations, how to prepare themselves, and to look for a side hustle. I told them as well, same thing. I took the inspiration from Singapore's Prime Minister and New Zealand Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Jacinda Ardern, how they are such an inspiring leader at this time when I did this video. So yeah, and also right now with my full-time team, we do huddles 3 times a week, just to keep align ourselves, updates, what's going on. We do sharing sessions with our part-time. We just did one where we connect what's going on with everyone, ideas, feedback, what's with our existing projects. So get them involved so that they can contribute, and we also know what's going on with them, and also told them anytime they need any support, they can reach out. So some of them have come to me and said that they need support financially, this and that, and then we run through ideas, and by the end of it, they're like, hey, actually I think I can do this in the meantime. I can do this side hustle in the meantime and all. Yeah. So, and we are having a town hall next this Friday actually to also further update everybody. Yeah. A lot of effort because it's a huge team, and we need to keep everyone aligned and connected.
Okay, a question for you, Jaymee. How do you organize these team huddles, for the benefit of everybody?
So Team Huddle is just every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and we get on a call for half an hour, 45 minutes. Update. Everyone goes and update what their project. So there's two different formats. Okay, one
Okay.
we call Huddle, and they update, and also
Right.
we have gratitude. So we share what we're grateful
Right.
for. Right.
Right.
The other one we call family time. It's more
Okay.
on releasing whatever we are stressed about. Like we just let it all out, right? We celebrate
Okay.
wins, like
Okay.
what we've wins over the week, and we also acknowledge,
Okay.
whether it's ourselves, each other, and yeah, and any sharing, like anything we learn over the week, yeah. So that's our family time, which we also do actually before this whole COVID situation. Just bring it online, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's amazing because I think like teams are like families, and if you don't
Yeah.
communicate with them, they don't really know what's happening, and they will eventually drop off lah. But actually, by just communicating and doing all these team huddles, people can actually stay in touch and come up with their own solutions, right? Like you said.
I think people can know what each other is going through, because a lot of times, although I know very clearly what my full timers are roles are, but when you really connect, you find out that, oh my gosh, they are doing so much more, and you really want to appreciate them for what they do. Or maybe sometimes we can terbabas also lah, go the wrong
Yes.
way. No,
Yes.
that's not
Yes.
where we want to go. So that we can align back. Yeah, and I would say the key right now with if you have a team is to over communicate, like really keep on communicating, because yeah, it's so easy to just like go different ways without realizing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that point that you just said over communicate at this time. It's always safer to over communicate. I think I'm hearing this many times in many team discussions and all. Uh, Communication is super important during this time.
Yeah, that absolutely.
It's true.
Okay, so Pawad, a little bit few more questions for you, right? How do you actually organize this online? Uh, how does it work? How does the online virtual treasure hunt work? Can you explain a little bit?
Sure, sure. I know many of y'all be thinking, how does he do it? People always go outdoors for treasure hunt, and now suddenly it's an online treasure hunt. Well, uh, in a normal treasure hunt, you have a briefing session and a debrief. So the briefing and debrief is done using either Zoom or FB Live and things like that. So once we brief the participants, we will actually send the participants with, as a flag off, a link. This
Okay.
link will help them to download a Google form. The Google form will give them all the instructions that we usually distribute physically. Now they have it in that form. That form will tell them, okay, this is the instructions that you're supposed to do throughout the event, and where you're supposed to go and look for the answers. We tell them, okay, first go to this location, look for these answers, go to the next location. So once they have done, they are supposed to go to the location. When I say go, doesn't mean they get into their cars and drive to the places.
Yeah.
No,
I
they
was
stay
about to
put.
ask you then.
Yeah, they cannot do that. They're all locked down. Okay, they are staying put in the house. All right. What they need to do is they just need to go to the website, go to Google, and use Google Street View.
Okay.
Right. For
Street
example,
view.
if I say Sogo KL, Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman, they
Okay.
Google it, then they go there and they will see all the shops along Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman. And I will say, look for the 5 questions along Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman until the end of the road where you see restaurant canteen. So it is just like driving along Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman. They will zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, and zoom out, try to look for the shop names where the answers are. The team, this could be a team event, 4 people sitting in their respective homes, talking over the phone or by different media, trying to see how to answer the question and solve the puzzles while they're going. So it is the same effect. The best thing is when I started organizing it, even as a person who's the question setter, I felt like as if I was actually in Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman after a while. And during the hunt, sometimes people call for assistance, and they tell me, hey, Papa, I'm in Petaling Street, but I can't find the shop, and for me, I'm at home, And I think that these guys are actually at Petaling Street. It means that the environment looked like that. And for the fun of it, the one that I organized had 5 locations. 4 locations were actually in Klang Valley, and one of it was in Penang Road.
Okay.
So suddenly they went to online Nasi Kanda on Penang Road and looked for answers. So this because of the treasure hunts, I can set treasure hunt in Orchard Road, Singapore. I can set a treasure hunt now for participants to look for answers in Sukhumvit Road in Bangkok. Any part of the world, you see.
Wow.
And participants also from any part of the world can take part with this event. This is something that I never thought of will happen ever. When a lot of my business say, hey, Power, can you take it overseas? Can you take it overseas? I say, no, I don't think they can afford me. By the time I go fly in there, rent a car, build them, it's too much. So I always said, but right now with this, it can be done. And I think you asked EJ this question, whether after MCO, whether he will continue on with this. I would like to answer this the same question on my side. Especially in my team bonding, Jaymee, and all this, and even swimming. I think after MCO also, they will restrict it for a very long time. Okay?
Yeah.
And even the restrictions are open, people will be reluctant. The individuals will be reluctant to go. So I think 3 of us will still need to carry this on for a longer period.
That's
all
true.
right? Maybe 6 months to a year. And the best part is all these human beings are actually devils of socializing. They need to meet people. They need to see faces. They need to go. After going to work, they want to go and sit down teh tarik with their friends. They want to go for a karaoke, happy hour, or go and play bowling. But all this they cannot do. So we have to come up with activities where they can actually socialize while they are still distancing themselves physically. So this is an excellent avenue I see. So I think it will go on for a while, where corporations will start coming and understanding the need that the staff who are feeling depressed, stressed, or lonely, or sad, and all this can actually get their spirits up with this activity. And the best part is, it's going to be very, very, very much cheaper than what it cost them last time. Because last time when you organize a treasure hunt, they need F&B.
Yes.
They need to pay for petrol. They need to pay for the food.
Lodging.
They need to pay for the accommodation. Right now, all that thing is no longer. So they probably for the same cost, they can organize 4 or 5 events in a year. And that's how much, it's almost like 20 to 20% of the original cost of organizing a normal treasure hunt last time. So I'm pretty excited that the corporations are going to look at this as an activity for the employees to do their part. And the best part is, last time when they organized corporate events, it was only for the staff. Now when they do it, can you imagine if I'm taking part in the treasure hunt, my son and the family around me will be participating together with me, trying to help to solve the puzzles. So the bonding goes way beyond, So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking, I want to organize one treasure hunt with Pava. I think it's not
Sure,
just,
EJ.
it's not just an activity, it's getting people also familiar with our own country. We always talk about like Cuti Malaysia, right? So now when he talk about the Google map, I start thinking, now we can actually virtually do it. Last time we just see it for fun, for some information, right? But now we're actually having fun learning about our country, what is a special place around that area. So, I love it. It's so exciting, Papa. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, EJ. Thank you, and I'm waiting. We shall do one.
So how are you keeping in touch with your customers during this time, and then telling them about this idea, Power?
Okay, okay. What I do is very simple. I have always had this practice of keeping in touch with my clients. I will just send them messages. Number one, very unique messages, and I always end it with one line and said, "Let me know if I can be of any assistance. Let me know if I can help you." And they would respond, "Oh, thank you for this is how." Then in return, they will ask me, "How are you coping up? What are you doing?" So I'm waiting for them to ask me that, and I will tell them, of course, well, things are a bit different right now, not too good, but this is what I'm doing. This is my new venture. you know Look at it. You think, then they look at it, then straight away, "Oh, really? This is exciting, can be done now. How do you go about doing?" So I have
Right,
that ready. So the next one goes to them. "This is how you do it." "Oh, all
right,
right, all right. Let me talk to," and they go on. "Let me talk to my management. Let me talk to my boss, or let me talk to my committee," and come back. So basically, that's what I do. And of course, I'm also part of business networking organizations that some of you or a lot of you are familiar with, and they have been doing a great job also helping me to. And the other thing is events like this, FB Live. You know, I've heard of FB. I'm on FB for a long, long time, but I've never been so active for the last 40 days. Okay, I never knew I would have a live FB Live event like this ever. This is my actually second FB Live. I did one with another group of members of mine, and this is my second one. And I even attended what was a panelist in a webinar organized by another guy called Deva. And these things were not. I never thought that I would go into these things. So thanks for Miss Corona or Mr. Corona that I'm doing this stuff now.
Sometimes because of this COVID, a lot of people are now having totally new ideas, and with these new ideas, they are also expanding not only within their same geographical location, they are expanding out. Like EJ was sharing about going out to Singapore. Jaymee, I don't know where else you'll be going to after this. And Pawa, you're already also doing some things out of the normal geography, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we have some questions coming in. Okay, Power, feel free to share as you go along. Okay, whatever you have in your mind. Let me just share a little bit from our LinkedIn friends here. Ginhai, I'm sure you all know Ginhai.
Yeah, of course, we all know
Okay.
Inai.
Ginhai is being active in
Inai.
LinkedIn. He said, "Good job, Jaymee, EJ, and Pawa." Okay, so he said a little bit about communication. He said it's easy to take for granted the amount of connection that we get during normal times. And he said, Ginhai also said that during this work at home times, non-verbal connection is non-existent. And therefore, the face-to-face online time and the messages are so much more needed. Okay, and then he said about the Pawa's one about Google Street View paired with Google Maps Drive. Okay, so there are some interesting things. It just blew my mind what you said just now about I was just thinking it was some kind of virtual. You pick on the map some things, but you're actually going on the street, except you're doing it with Google Maps, right?
Yeah. No, Google Street View.
Google Street View.
And the best part is, when you use Google Street View, you can actually zoom in, and then when you try to zoom in, you will miss the shop name, and because you zoom too fast, then you have to make a turnaround, just like making a U-turn in the car, look back for the one. All those aspects of a normal treasure hunt in a car actually come. I remember the one that I organized earlier. Some of the older folks, they call me and say, "Oh, I don't know how to use this." I said, yeah. It's just like driving a car for the first time. You're just getting used to it. You'll be okay in a while. Some of the younger folks were quite well versed with it. but some of the older ones found it hard to navigate. Yeah, I missed the
Wow.
signboard. I cannot find the signboard. Suddenly it's here.
This is
So
like the real one.
you can rotate, you can zoom in, zoom out. Sometimes you click too much and you overshoot. It really was really exciting.
Right. Okay, so Dato Alia Karen have said in from LinkedIn, she said keep the conversation going. That's also the new norm now, virtual conversations. Okay, and Ginhai said to Pawa, I said propose to Tourism Malaysia.
Actually,
Okay.
thank you, Ginhai. There is a particular tourism of another country already working with me to use this as an avenue to promote to travel agents who are supporting them to actually feature their country.
Wow,
So,
this is good. This
so
is
they
so
are,
good.
and yeah. So tourism Malaysia, yes, I would, but if I just need some, if anybody knows how to get to them, that'll be good.
All right, man. So you're doing your pitch and getting people to help you out in this connection. All right, man. Great. So, and then Ramesh Khanna said, love the idea of treasure hunt together with family. Yeah, that's a good one. I think now families can go in quite easily, right? Okay. There are some more questions from Facebook. I like from Siva Kumar Sundaraj said, I like EJ Yap's idea on overcoming phobia in swimming. Okay, I've known friends who love running like me, but can't participate in Ironman events due to phobia of swimming.
You'll
Okay,
be
so that's
surprised
interesting.
so many
That's
adults. Yeah. You'll be surprised that so many adults are very afraid of water.
oh yeah. So how can you teach them to overcome the fear of swimming, EJ?
We haven't explored the program for adults yet, but we can
Okay.
look into that. Yeah, basically when it comes to swimming, it's just when people have fear, it's not understanding certain rules only. But
Okay.
for adults, I see a little challenge. Kids is a lot easier because there's a lot of fun elements that we can incorporate it and learn a lot of things that they can see uh, how it applies. And when they dream, when they dream about science, they dream about the future, they apply. For adults, it's usually very direct. I pay you for
Right.
this, I want to see it immediately. Swimming means swimming immediately. So it's not
Right.
for adults.
Yeah, adults sometimes can be quite fixated, right?
Yeah. But we'll
Yeah.
but when it comes to inside the pool, it's fun because inside the pool we can do a lot. Where they actually imagine themselves, when they actually experience sinking, floating, not holding anything. So those are the fear of people who have very strong fear of water. Yeah, so it's more fun to do it in the pool. So for adults, we cannot think of anything yet at the moment. But thanks for the idea.
Wow, if you can do that, overcoming the fear of swimming through online, wow, then you'll be we have to book an appointment to see you already after that. Okay, Jaymee, and also everyone here, right? What are some of the funny things you have encountered while teaching online? Pawa has shared about a little bit about, sometimes you got to make a U-turn, you miss the signboard and all. But how about you, Jaymee? How about you, AJ? What are some of the funny things? Maybe Jaymee, you can start first. Oh, Jaymee is locked up a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
EJ, you can share first. EJ?
What challenges we face, is it?
Yeah.
So I think at the beginning, it will be students not used to using Zoom. So Zoom is like a new software. Then, as usual, like any swimming class, there will be a lot of people who come late as well. So that's the
usual.
usual challenge. But as long as what we do is we keep starting on time, then eventually when people look at it, then they get used to the missing out. I say, I missed out the first 10 minutes of the class, and they start coming earlier. So it's just a small setback. But once people start saying that they are losing out from coming late, they will come earlier. Those who are not used to it, we won't create like our own instructional video of how to use Zoom. Then
Right.
then it makes it a lot easier for students to sign in. Because usually I think the challenges are different for people who use laptop and iPad. So we have two different guidance for them. Then that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of different like softwares and platforms around. So we got to. I think one of the things everyone has got to do now is to get used to all these different platforms like Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Team, Google Hangouts. Until like it's really quite pening lah, that one. Okay. And then how about you, Jaymee? Any funny things that you have encountered while teaching online?
Just the Zoom security issue that some parents are concerned with. So we took all the precautions we could take out there, password, unique password. We were changing it weekly, not recording the sessions and all of that. And we also prepared like backup software that we will use in the case that the security issue gets worse. But so far, the moment's still good. Our Zoom sessions have been smooth. So yeah, very grateful for that.
Okay. Any funny things you have encountered while during this, whole new business pivoting side? What are some of the things that you all can think of that happened? It's just for the benefit of everyone, just the fun aspect of it.
Sometimes the funny part is people screaming at the background for our students. Very embarrassing. So we actually have a admin that is very, very alert. So once we send something that will be embarrassing for that particular children or parent, we quickly mute it. So there's like a cowboy drawing out a gun. Mute. Yeah, saving face is very important.
Yes.
Well, I can share something.
Yeah.
During the event, we thought that we'll create a WhatsApp group where we can
Right.
communicate with the participants to tell them if how to help them out or give them some extra tips. Suddenly, we found that chat group got hijacked by the participants, and they were going on chatting and telling their stories. So after a while, some of the participants say, "I think please do not chat. I'm trying to scroll up message by the organizers. I can't find it." So the excitement grew. So next time, I'll create one chat group for all the nonsense to go and use broadcast message to announce updates to them. And the other thing is what I miss in this online version of the treasure hunt is at the end of a treasure hunt, usually we are all in a ballroom. We do a PowerPoint presentation. While I'm doing the presentation, people are cheering, the oohs la, the ahs la, and also the booing.
Yes.
That I miss a lot. Right now, doing via Zoom, I cannot see the reaction. Okay, I can't see their body signals. I don't know whether they want to take and throw me in the pool. I can't hear the applause. So that part is the 10% that is missing from the whole event.
Right.
So I don't know whether we'll come up with somebody will come up with some platform where we can get the same image where everybody is sitting in a room and we can see everybody's reaction at the same time. We can allow that in Zoom and all these things, but then it becomes very chaotic. Can't hear,
Yeah. So, friends, if anyone here from the audience can give an answer for things like that, again, EJ, Power, Jaymee, I'm sure there are some areas that you still have some challenges, right? After this, I'd like you all to share so that let's see if, from our friends in Facebook and LinkedIn who can give some ideas about that. Like, so Power's question was how to create the big large room atmosphere which creates a lot of hype and hoo-ha and all, right, the energy. How do we create that during this online time? How can we do that? So audience, friends, if you're out there, if you have some ideas, just throw it in so that we can just pick them up and grow. If all the businesses grow, we'll be all doing quite well, right? And Malaysia can do well. So that's a good one, Pawa. Thanks for sharing that challenge. How about EJ, Jaymee? Do you all have any challenges that you all want to share that that we can sort of group source the ideas?
For me, it's just reaching out to more students, more people to get to know what we do. Because it's a ridiculous idea, learn to swim without a pool. So the key is how do we message it that in a way when people look at it and say, okay, I'll give it a try. Probably better ways to message it for someone who actually want to get something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And for me, I would say similar to EJ, also same thing. Parents might not understand how are they going to learn all these things through a virtual screen. Letting them know that it's not something you can. I mean, your children can do conditioning work on their own. without a class. But what's missing is the coach's motivation, the accountability structure with your team, the connection with your teammates, and also the program that we, using all our years of experience, we have come up with, which will teach them all these soft skills, yeah, and improve their techniques at the same time with coaches' feedback. So all of this is like, I have it, but it's a bit of a challenge to translate it to the parents that this, and the students, that this is the value you will get. Yeah, yeah.
So it's more about like them getting to know that such a program exists and can be done.
They know the program exists, but like the value, like is it worth to pay the value, or just wait until physical classes come back? Yeah.
Right, right. So what I'm hearing also is like, for a lot of parents out there is like, they can't cope with the children not doing anything. And they're going a little bit crazy already. So when there's a little bit of guide, like what you said just now, when someone is taking off that 1.5 hours or so, and just paying attention to the kids, and so that the parents can just take a short break and think about something else for a while and chill out for a while the child is looking at the screen and trying to figure out some things with non educational stuff lah, non like learning day to day stuff. Okay, so EJ Ginhai has shared that from Ginhai is messaging from LinkedIn. Okay, so you can't see all the messages in Facebook. He said, EJ, we can talk further on how I have ideas from the subconscious belief system angle. That means this is more on the how to overcome the fear of water. So you might have some ideas if you talk with Ginhai. He has offered to share some ideas.
Ginhai is a legend in the swimming industry as well.
Yeah. He is. I'm sure he'll be able to give out some great ideas on this side. Okay, and also Sivakumar has said in Facebook, I think some of our friends here in Facebook have already given their numbers for you all to contact. You have seen it, right? From Cherries and all. Sivakumar has said cheerleading is vital tool in team building leaderships. Okay, this is to Jaymee. Great motivational and in arising team spirits, not only in any situation. Great work, Jaymee. Okay, and then Kenny Lim has given some suggestions. Let parents to have confidence about the online class over the offline class. Okay, this is Kenny Lim's suggestion in Facebook. Create more value for the online class. Track student performance and report to the parents. Okay,
that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it's a good, interesting suggestion. Thanks a lot, Kenny. Awesome suggestion.
Thank you, Kenny.
All right. Hazel has dropped. Yep, I think you have got Hazel's message here also, EJ. And then we have, let me just scroll in for any questions. Any mock-up of cartoon like? Okay, this one, Rosalind, maybe you can just share a little bit more. Rosalind Sundarlingam, can you share a little bit more of what you mean about any mock-up of cartoon? Okay, and then we have the world is definitely a smaller place right now. Okay, it is. And my question, okay, Siva Kumar's question is, what if clients want more virtual training on top of physical training since COVID-19 issue and social distance? I think you have already answered this question earlier on, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Maybe I want to just touch on that a bit.
Sure.
You see, right now we are all talking about online, virtual, and all that.
Yes.
There will come a time where we will have to meet, we will have to jump into the pool, we will have to go into the field to do the cheerleading, we will have to hit the roads to do treasure hunts, we'll have to travel to Penang and all that. So, but then again, now is the time I think we should prepare for that as well. What I have in my mind is, on my side, I got to work with the transporters. If I'm using a bus, whether the bus now can seat 20 people in a 40-seater bus. So they don't have to be rubbing shoulders while they sit on the seat.
Right.
When they go to the hotel can provide us single rooms, no more twin sharing or
Right.
triple or quad sharing that we used, groups used to do.
Okay.
Of course, that doesn't mean they just hike up the rates, for one. And then the hotel queue lines, how buffet is going to be served, how they line up the people, how they
Yes.
serve the food, that has to be done. Disinfecting the buses before and after, people get into the bus, disinfecting the rooms, the function hall. So these
Right.
are things that I think we can now uh, talk to people that we work with, our service providers, the venue hosts and all that. And this can prepare us to move to that next one whenever it comes. It could be 6 months, it could be a year. But we got the time now to think of how we can price it to make it affordable yet safe for the people. Then people might explore the physical, but just I think like for EJ also, how is your swimming pool is going to be safe? What are we doing to make sure that when everybody jumps into the pool, it's not, somebody with one virus is not going to go. So we need to brainstorm to think how we can keep that kind of environment safe for people in the long run.
Yep. We're actually doing a SOP for how it's going to start once it's beginning. And to make the SOP a lot easier, we're making like a video. So with a video, people can imagine how do we practice social distancing when they come. So that creates a lot more the feeling of safe, being safe, being okay that when they come back, it's going to be a new norm, going to be very different, but at least we're taking the best precaution that we can. Yeah, we can't stay at home forever. Yeah, so at least when people feel safe, they'll start coming. Just like when we go to groceries nowadays, when I go into Jaya Grocer, there's like 50 people lining up. It's a lot different experience now. Yeah, but it's a new norm that we have to accept.
Yeah.
And
Jaymee.
for cheerleading, it's a bit more challenging because we are close contact sport. So
Yes.
what I've been looking out for is, those face shields that people are selling now. So
Yes.
looking for the kind that is soft and can adhere to their face. So when they cheer, they're gonna wear that, in my mind, right, with the mask and the face shield, and changing the cheerleading scoring system, because I'm also the vice president of the National Association. So we are also in talks and planning how we're going to adjust competition to suit this new norm. So maybe less emphasis on the close contact part of cheerleading, which is like the pyramids where you need to be very near, but maybe more on the dance, the gymnastics, the more individual elements. So we are planning for all of that. Yeah.
Right. A lot of things, I think, as we go online, we also need to prepare for eventually coming back offline again, right? The physical meets. So we have to be prepared for that also. That's the normal flow of business, right? Yeah, good point there, Pawa. And nice. It's good to know, Jaymee, about all those things that you all need to prepare, like all this, the masks and all.
Yeah. Even things like our competition, normally it's a very huge and like festive event, thousands of cheerleaders and audience, right? We might have to look into limited audience, so one team at a time, and then the audience will be through Facebook Live, or virtual competition where they submit a video. We are looking into all these things because we want to keep the spirit going, get them still to enjoy their passion, but how do we do it in a safe way?
Yeah. When is the next? Sorry, Pawa, just go ahead.
No, I just told Jaymee, maybe you should record the applause and then put it on the stadium and put it loud so that everybody can hear the participant applauding while they're doing it, because that's what builds the sportsman. When you hear people applause, that's when the spirit goes up. Even the cheerleaders, when they're doing it and people clap and cheer. So maybe you can get that recorded and put some good sound system and blast it on the stadium.
Right, that's the special part about a cheer event, right? The applause, like you said, and especially like your treasure hunt as well. The applause, the energy of that. How do we replicate that? Yeah, but I think that even like you said, it's chaotic, letting them cheer and all through Zoom or what. But I think that we should really consider having that little time frame for them to just really go chaotic on Facebook Live and cheer for the team. Like, why not? I mean, we miss all this energy. Where else are we going to get it? Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom can handle quite a large group if there is, but only thing, of course, that involves some cost and all. Zoom, and I think everyone can just for a while you can unmute everybody and let them make some noise.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, some ideas from Ginhai for like like parents if they have difficulty understanding that this could be a program during this time, right? Ginhai said that video supported by testimonials from parents and participants. Okay, some additional tips there lah.
Yep.
Okay, and then let me just say. Jaymee, there's a lot of messages coming to y'all. Okay, it's like just flowing with messages here. A lot of friends here. Jackie Tan said, "Well said. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." Okay, she quoted Helen Keller. Okay, and then Marcus Tan has asked a question. Any advice from you, Pawa, for others like you who are also in the events industry? Yeah, this is interesting, because events is a big one. What more can they do during this CMCO period? Events are really having tough time now, those who are handling events. In fact, the other day a few friends have also asked, what can we do for events? Do you all have any ideas, friends?
Well, hi Marcus. Yeah, I know I work with a lot with event companies. They sometimes outsource when they need treasure hunts. They come to me and I work with them. And I know that they are now facing a very, very big hurdle because nobody is going to have an annual dinner with 300 or 400 or 600 packs for a very long time. And that is what they mainly do. They do road shows and stuff like that. So what I think the best they can do is actually to do their events online. Okay, that means they usually event management companies. They have suppliers, they have singers, they have comedians, they have the artists that come and entertain the participants in a dinner or annual dinner or stuff like that. So if they can have that now, get the group of people to provide a skit and do an online concert, a performance, right? And let that online concert actually go viral. People like it, and then that could help them because when things go viral on the net, I think it attracts some kind of income in YouTube and stuff like that. Then once that part and go, and then they see this popularity, then maybe they can start selling tickets online. Come join the concert. Marcus himself has got a band, and he can say, okay, this concert we are going live for this, and then this is the entry fee. Once you pay the fee, you all be logged on for this one for 2 hours to listen to our non-stop performance by all these artists. In between we have some comedy sketches coming and stuff like that. But I do not know about the dollars and cents yet, but this is just an idea.
Okay, thanks for the ideas, Pawa. Any other ideas, EJ, Jaymee?
I've been invited by Ben. Ben is a pioneer in the industry of hiring. So he's constantly organizing fairs for employers to connect to employees. So people,
Right.
job seekers looking for employers. So he's doing this whole thing online. And this coming Thursday is inviting me to give a talk to the job seekers. So what they do is they create a platform for employers to put in all the advertisement, put in all the job seekers to go to that. It's like a virtual fair. They also invite someone like me and some other very, very good speakers to come and share what is their journey, what is the thing that the job seekers actually want to find, want to listen to. So like Pawa said, the concerts and all, they can, as long as you can create some other attraction to pull people to your event, so then people will start seeing that attraction and your event at the same time. I think that will be a good combination. And when it comes to this kind of difficult times, people are way more open to collaboration. So in the past, when people you can't reach out to, now is a good time to reach out to a lot of different type of people who are also looking for opportunities. So I find it'll be a lot easier in the next few months to collaborate with a lot more people.
Right. Okay. Jaymee, do you have any ideas on this one? Yeah.
More towards the kind of stuff that Pava does. So I would
Okay.
think in this time, companies are finding it hard to connect with their members, their company, and all. So what they are looking for is an activity or like a team building kind of thing, or something to get the whole company together and bond and have fun. I think events, one of the things is to get everyone to have that wow annual dinner festivities and all, right, but all that is gone now. So how do we do that through specially designed activities, like team building style activities that can even incorporate maybe your company's slogan or branding or any tagline incorporated into the activity for your team. So maybe even companies could consider this pivot.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of companies, talking about events, a lot of companies are actually right now going back to work. And then some of them are actually considering having a team bonding event to get the people back again because they've been all offline, right? They've been working, on their own and all. So to get some, fun things going on again. So some of them are actually already considering events like this. So this could be a good thing if events people and also all those who are organizing team bonding events, we could also think differently to create something during this time to enable companies to team bond again before starting work fully in full force, right?
Actually,
Okay.
one of my event company friends, she just only messaged me and say, "Hey, come for a free half an hour trial, team building for your company," just like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, half an hour, sure, why not? I will definitely explore and see if it helps, and if it does, then yeah, that can be a funnel for event companies."
Right. Yeah. So event companies, look out. There might be things coming, but you gotta be prepared for it, lah. Okay. So another one is by Pawa Nanda Kumar. What about creating one special virtual event as a platform that synergizes all three of you using Treasure Hunt, Jaymee and EJ? Yeah, we can't see you for the time being.
No
This
worries.
post is
No
blocking,
worries.
right? So just using Treasure Hunt tulips to provide clues to journey through the virtual trail that requires knowledge in swimming Ironman style. The cheerleaders will come in to this event to create the mood and reward winners with a nice cheer. Probably need some dashboard portal type creation to present the virtual platform. Just a thought. Wow. Okay, keep the thoughts coming, Nanda Kumar. Thanks a lot for the idea. That's a brilliant idea. Of course, all this needs a little bit more tuning, but keep the ideas coming. Brilliant.
Well,
Okay,
just
and
to
then
let you all know, Nanda Kumar is the one who designed my company logo.
oh
Wow.
really? You can see
What's
that there's a
behind
lot
you?
of creativity.
Very nice.
Okay, so Darren has said, great points from all the seafoods. Anita has said great tips, power. And then, yeah, okay. So let me just see. Okay, yeah. Jagatish Warren from LinkedIn. Okay, power. Yesterday, the Temple of Fine Arts KL held their first virtual performance. Okay, it was a free event but well coordinated, something that
Yes.
entertainers can look at.
Yeah.
Start by educating and getting guidance of buy-in first. Okay, so just to share with you all, I also just went in and joined this event. There were about close to 400 participants, and they were all doing different things together in their own homes. So in this case, they were playing music. One of them were playing, each of them were playing different instruments. Some of them were singing, all at the same time, coordinated. And I don't know how this is done, but I'm sure events people can figure this one out, right?
Yeah. I watched it myself, yes, sir. It was so well coordinated.
Yeah,
It
because you
was
don't have the
really,
lag
really
and all,
awesome.
right? Okay, so that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Jega and Nanda. And Ginhai said absolutely critical. I just ran a training guiding business owners on what they need to do to run the business in the new normal while still generating sufficient revenue. Okay, so Ginhai actually does a lot of trainings guiding business owners, just for everyone to know. He's also a friend of ours. He gives some really good advice. So look him up. He's you can see him. You can find him in LinkedIn and also in Facebook. Okay, so friends, Pawa, Jaymee, EJ, any last bits of advice you all can give, before we end the show today?
Well, okay, I will start first.
Yeah.
I think while we are doing the I don't know, the people say it's social distancing, but I
Yeah.
would like to call it more physical distancing. I think we should not
Yeah.
distance ourselves socially.
That's
Socially,
right.
we
That's right.
still should connect. We should be talking and finding different means. Some people the other day they had a virtual happy hour session where each one had their own drinks and drinking through Zoom, whatever it is. I mean, do it. Virtual birthday celebrations, with your family members across different countries or wherever they are. I think we should do that. Even next time for Christmas or Deepavali and all that. Let's have even things don't improve. Let's continue socializing. I think socializing must be there. The distancing must be just physical, and let's all have a hope that it will not take very long, because I really enjoy meeting people face to face, being there physically. All right. So I think keeps our hopes high, and I think we'll achieve it sooner or later. But meanwhile, don't stop socializing. Socializing should continue.
Thanks, Pawa.
For me,
Jaymee?
maybe I can, touch on how, although I'm a cheerleading company, and I mentioned a little bit that we are also now selling nuts. So maybe, don't limit yourself to what your company can is good at, but you can also find something new that you're good at. And who would have thought that we will be quite good at selling nuts? So yeah, it's actually something that we are going to expand and keep after this, because it is a way of diversifying our company. And response has been great in the past month for our nuts and all. And I would say that you really why not? Why not? Yeah, as long as the numbers are right, you study the market and you know that this business proposition makes sense, then yeah, just go ahead and try it out. Yeah. And also, very grateful that my team and part-timers and full-timers are so supportive for all these changes in the company. Yeah, that we can make all this happen. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, just for our friends to know, Jaymee is actually selling the nuts in Shopee and Lazada, right?
Yes, Shopee, Lazada, and our online shop. So
And online shop.
shop.cheeraspirations.com.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So three
what?
places. Yeah.
Why don't we all just take a little bit of time and just type in your your some of your key links and all below in the comments section, so that people know what you all doing. While someone shares the rest, you all can just type up your links and all. I'm also going to ask you all to just finally just shout out one of the latest events that's coming up, so that everyone knows about it, right? How about EJ? Any final piece of advice before we finish the show today?
I would say be as open as possible to all kinds of collaboration. What we did was we break down the steps of how we did what we do, because it brought us income as a swimming school. We actually open up to all the swimming coaches and all the swimming schools to learn what we do. So I believe in this time of difficult times, especially if you look at last time, I've never been to war before, but when I see war movies, the one who actually have one last piece of bread and can still share the bread, creates a whole chain of kindness, creates a whole chain of collaboration where everybody can easily think of themselves. But if you start thinking about other people first, that will create a whole chain where we can start creating a lot of bigger things together. So we share our tactics, we strip ourselves naked on what's the formula, how do you actually do what we do, and we teach it to the swimming schools and swimming coach on how to do that as well. And hopefully they grow. Because once we start being more creative, be more collaborative, there's a lot of new opportunities we can explore together. So then that breaks down a lot of barriers. So look at collaboration outside of your industry, within your country, outside of a country. I would say be more and more open to collaboration, and that will bring us very far.
Right. Just for everybody's knowledge, EJ EJ is actually running again. I'll just briefly tell each one. Then EJ is actually running the swimming school. Pawa is doing treasure hunts, and Jaymee is doing cheerleading. All right, they run very big organizations in their own way. Now, EJ has actually recently, what I found out was he shared with a group of, I think about 50 or 80 other swimming schools, right?
About 180.
Sorry?
180.
180 swimming schools on what his
Yeah.
plans were. Basically, what he did was he openly shared his own strategy to survive during these COVID times and shared all these tips and tricks to all his competitors also. I found that really amazing. EJ, maybe you can share, why did you do that for?
I think, like I shared earlier, in times of war, you only have one bread. It's good to share, and especially if times that you know how to make bread. If more people can start making bread together, it will fit the whole country. So it doesn't matter whether we are in which industry. At this time, it's a lot about survival as a nation together. I think it's very, very important. So when we don't look at each other as competitors, we're just saying how do we help each other grow. After the crisis, there will be so much more that we can work together. So I believe that is a first step for everyone to look into. How do we start growing other people first? If you grow other people first, it will always come back in a way. Throughout my whole 10 years in business, as long as we give more than we receive, it always comes back in a way. So I
Really good,
truly
really
believe
nice.
in that. People can
Salute,
start building
salute.
that chain.
Salute.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, again, Pawa, before we finish, do you have anything, any nearest event that you want to share about so that we can all, Jaymee also, EJ, any nearest event that is coming up, anything that you all want to shout out so that, everyone knows? Or you can also, type out your links here so that, people know.
Yeah, I just type out my website. When the event is finalized, it'll be out there, and on my Facebook and my one. I think there'll be one in June. Look out for that. As soon as I get the details all firmed up, I will share with all of you all. And come and participate. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to this.
The arrangement with you, Baba.
Thank you, EJ.
Jaymee, anything you want to shout out?
Looking forward. No, nothing much. Just I will share links for our nuts because this product is also supporting our coaches and our cheerleaders because we're giving them a very good commission to sell because we want them to earn some side income in this time, and including our cheerleaders who want to continue cheering but they can't because parents are going through financial challenges. We want them to earn to be independent, to earn their own income. Just sell some nuts in a month, and they can earn their own money to continue cheer or to help their families. So I will share the links later.
You'll share the links, yeah? Okay. And EJ, do you have anything that you like to shout out, the last ones?
So basically, I have the swimming science program or exercise program online. So just contact me for a free trial class. And for those who just want some regular exercise and budget is a tight concern now, we also have a free session every week on Sunday, 5 o'clock. It's just a fun exercise with the family. So we don't need to pay anything. It's just a fun thing together. Yeah.
Wow.
You can just contact me at my Facebook, just swim in 12. Just swim in 12.
Swim in 12, right? So I think I saw your link down there. And anyways, all your links are in the description of this video, right? So anyone who misses any comments down there, a lot of comments here. So you can always look up, it's in the links. You can look up them. And also, friends, Pawa, EJ, Jaymee, just stay back after this show, right? Just stay back. Don't go offline yet. For those who have missed out this talk, the earlier part of this talk, you can always see the recorded event later on. It's the same link. You can just click on the link and you can find the whole recorded event. You can see it in YouTube. You can see it in Facebook. You can see it in LinkedIn. Everything is recorded. The YouTube links are given below. Okay, and if you all have any ideas that you all have want to share, our friends in the audience side, you can feel free to drop by. You can always contact Pawa, EJ, and Jaymee directly. Their contacts are down here. And again, thanks for following this. Thank you all so much. I think Pawa's friends are here, Jaymee's friends are here, EJ's friends here, and our regular friends who always follow the show, they're all here. Thank you so much for following the show. We'll see you again sometime soon, and hopefully we'll bring up the business side all over Malaysia again, right? Okay, with that, adios.
And thanks to
Bye-bye.
Yasa for organizing this as well.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vyasa.
Thanks, EJ.
Appreciate your
Thanks,
time.
Jaymee.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.